All right, Randy Zellea here from backsportspage.com. With me, as always, my wrestling sidekick, Emerito Rivera from Level 1 Games from Pompton Plains, New Jersey. And we are honored and privileged today to have the Good Brothers from Impact Wrestling and, of course, their Talking Shop partner, Rocky Romero. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Lots going on. So, first off, thank you for the time. And boy, do you guys have nothing going on this upcoming week, huh? You guys be very bored, right?
Nothing at all, man.
It's busy, but it's good. It's fun busy, man. This is what we love to do. Being able to get out and talk about like our creation, right? Like Talkin Shop Mania is our shit. And so to be able to sit and talk about something that we created and get the fans invested in like stories that we've invented out of our crazy minds, it's like this is what we live for, man. This is a dream job, to be able to hang out with your boys and create shit like this. Like, you know, COVID has been horrible. This has been some terrible shit that everybody's had to deal with, and it sucks, man. Something for some reason blessed us as a trio. Something about it blessed us to get us motivated, and certain situations happened that made us be allowed to create this whole entire universe out of this. And like, I'm thankful for that.
It's a great time to be a good brother. That's for sure.
It's been great watching you guys, listening to your podcast religiously every Sunday. It drops.
Thanks, brother.
And so I'm looking forward to the second Talkin Shop Mania. How is that filming? I mean, what hurdles did you encounter the second time around? Because I know that they destroyed your house the first time.
Well, you know, this one sucked for me in a lot of ways, because I mean it honestly, because this was cool. I got booked to do a TV show that I can't talk about, that I got cast in, that's coming out next year. But once you sign that contract, like, there's no wiggle room. They can move shooting days, whatever it is, and it just so happened they moved the shooting day to the day we were shooting stuff here at my house. So like this thing that was like my baby, now I'm sitting in a trailer in Atlanta, and these guys are down here an hour south out here on my property shooting this thing. And I was losing my mind, biting my nails, texting them, texting my wife, texting the talent we had booked, asking what was going on, how the shooting was, how the production was. It was driving me insane. So I did that for 10 hours, got in the car, sped home, changed into my Sex Ferguson getup, took a shot of Talkin Shop bourbon, ran out in the yard, and we started filming the ball for a ball match where Sex Ferguson takes on Chad Too Bad. And the only way to win is to remove another man's scrotum.
I mean, like, Gallows had to go on set, right? But Rocky and
they produced the hell out of it, man.
From 7 a.m. we started. So we wanted to knock everything out that first day and then do like post stuff the next day. But like, we from 7 a.m. until like 1 a.m. we shot all day long, man, and just no selling the tiredness, just getting through. But it sounds crazy, but we had to get a lot of shit. When you see this, like, it's a little longer than it was. It was
a lot
fun.
more into it,
like
a lot more talent.
The storyline we do now is like Gallows. We made so much money from part one that Gallows just hangs out in his house all day, and he's CGI Gallows. So we got CGI Gallows that are on commentary with us. And it looks pretty funny, man. And
it's awesome. It's awesome. He looks like a genie.
Well, I am a genie. God damn it.
Yeah. And, like, and for some reason he talks with his ridiculous accent. He's wearing this dumb shit. And, like, it man, like I watched it back, man, and I was laughing so hard I was crying, man. Part two to me is even funnier because we realized that people got our humor a little bit. So now.
So watch out.
He turned it way up.
Yeah, Anchorman 2, right?
The
crazy.
The raunch level is at all new heights, to the point where, like, we're going. Well, even these fans, I hope we don't turn them off, because this is full Gallows and Anderson dick joke, sense of humor all throughout this thing to the max. I mean, so it's TVMA. Put the kids to bed. Crack your favorite beverage, whatever it is, and take off your pants and enjoy the shit out of that. Hashtag worse than the first Talkin Shop Mania 2.
Yeah, because we have the rise of the cock torture in this one, right?
Cock torture.
Like I was saying before, right? So we ended Talkin Shop Mania 1 with this guy coming out of the grave with a mask on, right? And if you don't follow our shit. You just think that's like the Young Bucks were texting us. They were like, we just watched this, and if fans don't follow this, all they think is, why is Gallows in a hockey mask? That's like, so, and like we understood that. It's like, so we're trying to tell the story now of who the cock torturer is, why the cock torturer is what he is. But
the lineage of the cock torturer, guys. Come on.
The cock. This part 2 is the cock torturer's show, man. Like he steals this motherfucker, and you'll see why.
I'll tell you, to expound upon your question, I'll tell you another real hardship with Talkin Shop Mania 2. Rocky went to LA. You know, we think we're big time now because we had some success coming off of Talkin Shop Mania 1. And we said, Rock, you're great at this. You're in the movie business as well, aside from pro wrestling. A lot of people don't know that. Go out there and make some magic with this Chico El Luchador and Chavo Guerrero thing. What we didn't realize was Rocky's a thief and a liar, and he broke our bank account. He spent our entire budget for Talkin Shop Mania 2 on one segment. It looks like The Matrix. It's amazing, but it's almost too good for our alternate universe that we've created here, because I'm like, how do we top this trying to pull each other's ball sacks off now? Thanks a lot.
Dude. There's gunshots, there's knife stabbing, there's a bazooka
insane
shot with Tyler Valkyrie like ducking under it, Matrix style. It's fucked up.
It's
man.
too much.
It's incredible.
We're getting Chico and Chavo this time.
Yeah, the real showdown between Chico and Chavo, Lucha Libre death match, where someone must actually die. It's not one of those bullshit death matches that people use.
Laying around in barbed wire. This is real death.
Nah, screw that. We're actually talking about real death here. You know?
Someone has to actually pass away in the match.
Yes, correct.
Straight up murder your ass.
Yes, there has to be a murder or something.
Yeah. And then that's followed up with a ball versus ball match. So then the main events are the selling point. Then of course you got all this shit that starts the show, like with the Nature Boy Paulies, the Frankies, and all the bullshit. You know?
We got 3 factions debuting, guys. We've teased one already, Retro Up Poopshin. They'll be there, and then 2 other exciting new factions will be joining the Talkin Shop Mania universe. So there's a lot going on.
You had to die the crowd down. You know what I mean? You have to
well, I'm gonna tell you something. We don't. So like, you know, a lot of times we'll say WWE WrestleMania, right? They do a big main event and they do like a
comedy
slow
match,
a relaxed comedy match where nobody gives a fuck. They go get popcorn. Then the main event comes out. We put all the dumb shit up front. Then the boys come out. But when I say the dumb shit, man. These guys are actually turning into stars, and that's kind of starting to turn into a problem because
it's kind of pissing us off. They want more money now.
Dressing room. They want
But like
Rory Fox got flown in on Spirit. I mean, we had to put him up in a hotel.
Hey,
for 4
Rory
days.
Fox ain't never been flown nowhere, man. We flew him and put him in a hotel and paid him, bro.
Here's the thing. Rory Fox, the eve of Talkin Shop Mania, the original that aired on August 1st, we shot back in July. Rory Fox slept on my wife's treadmill by comparison, and he flew himself in. Now we're buying him flights and hotel rooms. Get the fuck out.
Got his own hotel room.
But I watched the first 10, 15 minutes, man, and I was laughing so hard I was crying. I've told this a bunch of times. I was laughing so hard I was crying, man. Us on commentary and like the funny shit that was going on in the ring, like. If you got yourself, even if you don't drink, great, you'll still have fun, I promise. But if you got yourself the right buzz going, holy fuck, man, you're gonna have the greatest time ever.
Yeah, we got to get some Talkin Shop beers, and
Yeah.
bourbon, and you guys have a wine now.
We got a wine.
Is the only thing available.
And I had to ask about that. How difficult was it to get as far as the IP and sort of the marketing behind it?
We're still in it, and it's horrific. We didn't know
It's
what
an
we
evolving
were,
process. The whole
Yeah.
time.
The only thing that we're able to actually sell right now because of the pandemic laws, other than if you go to the brewery in Kentucky or you go to Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee, and get the bourbon, because we have to sift through these laws and how to ship it. We can ship the wine around the United States to the states where it's allowed. You go to tnsmania.com. That has everything regarding to us, the Good Brothers, Talkin Shop, all the stuff we got going on, where we're going to appear, podcast info. But you can go on there and there's a link to the wine. I think if you buy a case or more right now, it ships for free around the United States. We got the Hoot Blood, which is our own Cabernet, and we got the Hootet Sauvignon Blanc that the wives came up with, and they're both damn good. They're better than the wine I would normally buy at the store, so I was impressed by that.
Did you guys find it hard, or the process of getting on the Fight TV with this? Was this a hard sell for them, or was this the taking a chance? What was that process like for you guys?
It was a cold call. I had this brainchild, and I got on the phone with a guy named Mike Weber over at Fight, who's been great to us. And I'd known Mike for years. He's been in the wrestling business 30 plus years. And you know, the pandemic helped us in all this, to be honest, because I don't know how you would pitch this, especially to the old school traditional pay-per-view companies. Everybody was dying for content, and they were like, kind of like, it sounds pretty out there. I don't know about the concept, but you guys are a pretty proven entity. We know that you can draw, so let's try it. I think they were thinking they were getting more of a traditional wrestling pay-per-view. So when we're sending stuff in and they're seeing the social media and the teasers, and it's Stex Ferguson and he's talking about a boner yard match, and Chad Too Bad's in training for a boner yard match, and all this, you know, we're drinking and screaming fuck at each other. I think they were like, oh no. But you know, luckily people bought into it. We did a little, actually a pretty damn good buy rate on it. We made some cash, and we were like, we have to keep this ball rolling, and we have to do a sequel. So here we are.
And how important was Rocky to the success of this deal? I gotta show Rocky a little bit here. I love, not just for Talkin Shop Mania, but for the podcast too, because you guys had to sort of take a break from the podcast when you guys were working with WWE. So being able to sort of pick up after you guys left WWE to get back to where you are, can you talk about that little bit of a layoff? Did it sort of bother you guys because of the corporate structure? What you guys want to do was not able to fit.
You know, we didn't want to do the podcast anymore, man. Like it sucked, man.
We don't want to do
like
the podcast now.
I don't even want to do it now, bro. It's still not every week. It's only fun once we start talking, right? Once we start talking, like right now, then I'm just like, all right, now I'm starting to have a good time. But like the lead up to it, like, God damn it, I got.
It's like when you want to record on Thursday. Oh,
no.
How about Friday, bro?
When we shut it down in 13, man, or 15, whatever the fuck it was. I was so happy. I was so done with it, just over it. But then it was like, man, but with that said, like once we start rolling, it's fun. But I guess the point is we got to have Rock. Like Rock has to keep us in there because
he's the balance, man.
Sometimes me and Gallows are in a bad mood, man, or like whatever. So we need somebody to pop us up a little bit or whatever it is. But the three of us we can help each other. Like if I'm in a bad place, like they can help me, or if Gallows is in a bad mood, I can help him, or if Rock don't feel like talking, we got each other. And I think the three is a lot better than the two sometimes, because sometimes with me and Gallows, like he's always in the bad mood, so I gotta like get him out. Like the three of us can always help him. Yeah, the three of us can help each other.
Yeah, little good brother exclusive. Sometimes we're dicks.
I mean, one time
I was a little hot at the boys too, because they went and did it on Jericho's podcast without me, you know, and they were like, and then they got this thing all famous, and I was like, well, what about me? Like, you know, but that was okay because I'm reaping the benefits now.
But the truth of it is though, like WWE came to us and they're going like, we're gonna have a podcast network. We want like Graves, the New Day, and you guys, and we were like, it's not the same. You know, and aside from not liking the business offer on it, we're like, we can't really do Talkin Shop without Rock. So we declined them on that. And then, you know, the pandemic started and we just on a whim went, well, let's just do it on our own and see if anybody catches on that we're actually doing it. Well, 4 weeks later, we're out at WWE, and now this thing takes on a life of its own. And here we are doing our second pay-per-view in the span of a few months. So it's been pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
like WWE pulled us aside and was like, we want you to do this podcast, man. Like we'll set up a room for you before Raw, and we'll have guests in. And we looked right at the guy, and we went, what? Nah, fuck that shit. I was like, if you want us, like you got to come to the hotel room at like 10:30 p.m. on the road. You got to set up everything,
beer,
bring us some wine, and then we'll do it. And they were like, oh, well, all right. All right. Then they agreed to that. Then they told us what kind of money they were giving us. And we're like, nah, we're out.
Nope. See ya.
Podcasting ain't that much fun.
That is awesome, and I can tell because we had Doc Gallows not do the podcast one time, and he was eating crabs, wasn't he? He had fried crabs.
Wow, that's an old school one, man.
No, that was
recently.
That was bright with Myers when Myers took over.
Oh, you didn't even do it. Yeah. That was when we were in Nashville and Gallows.
My crabs showed up, and I didn't want to talk.
Oh, yeah. Exactly, man. But that's the kind of stuff I think that makes it fun. I think even in Japan one time we did eat crab and just sit and talk.
Yeah,
like, that's
that's an old one.
Man. And then there was another time when, like, sometimes I listen to you guys because I'm working out while I'm listening. Yeah. So I'm working out, I'm listening to you guys. I'm like, I'm pumping out. And then you guys come up and you start talking about what it was. It was a crack brownie? Like,
oh yeah,
brownie.
how do you guys get into these situations? Like,
Just
Dude,
leave it to the boys.
It just happens, man. This guy's offering us cocaine brownies at the gas station.
that's what
And
it
I'm
was.
like,
Yes.
I'm
Well,
like,
that's
dude, I've heard
luck.
of weed brownies, but what the fuck is a cocaine brownie? No, I'm not eating that shit.
So I have to add two things. One, this is going to be so much fun to air. Two, I have to also, ask as far as, Gallows using your house. After seeing, was there any hesitation originally about doing this at your house? And then also, after doing it at your house, wanting to do it again at your house?
I'd say the hesitation came after the first one when I saw how these fuckers destroyed everything. I'm talking mirrors ripped off the wall, the toilet paper holders ripped out, like shit all over the floor. I'm like, guys, so we actually made a rule where we the top two levels of the house were locked off from all the talent except for Rocky and Karl, because I can trust them. Everybody else, you're in the basement, make do, change your clothes, eat down there, make a mess down there. Stay the fuck out of the rest of
the
my
first
house,
one,
please.
remember the first one was the first one we shot it, like, let's say July 6th and 7th, man. That was in the middle of this pandemic, right? Where like there wasn't nobody flying anywhere. So the boys hadn't seen each other since like March, April, and
right.
And they're coming to something that they're not taking it as a serious booking. They want to come and hang out and see their buddies. And I'm like, guys, we actually have to get this shot. I know it's fun to stand over there and swill whiskey and tell bullshit stories, but if you could please come over here, I need you to do this parody wrestling match.
Also, was there getting the talent, the talking them into doing it? Was it difficult to sort of get the guys like Willie Mack to come down and Chavo and those guys? Was it difficult to get them to convince them to do this?
A lot of the guys,
man.
Yeah, they were. And a lot of them are our buddies, and they were seeing the stuff that we were doing and putting out, especially right after we left WWE. Like Chavo called us and goes, how do I be a good brother? And like, we love Chavo. He's got all kinds of cool outside stuff going on. So he was our buddy. So the first one is a lot of that, and you'll see that again in the second one. But after the first one had some success, we had guys reaching out going, hey, if you do another one, we'd love to be a part of it. And then we're going, okay, this thing has some steam. We need some names and stuff. So I've told this story on a couple of interviews, like standing in your front yard at midnight trying to explain to Scott Steiner how you're going to be laying on the ground with your legs spread, and the point is to pull your ball sack off and you want to run in from him. He's going, what the fuck are you talking about? But everybody ended up getting it and having a great time. But like, if you look at the graphic that we're putting out and you see some of the names on that thing, I wish I had it in front of me right now. I mean, it's like a who's who of pro wrestling. And I think that, over 50% of these guys showed up not seeing the first one and not knowing what the hell they were getting into. So some of the reactions, and sometimes guys are going, that's all you want me to do? You flew me here for that? To kick you in the balls? I'm going, yes, please.
Well,
Tommy Dreamer.
Go ahead, wind her up.
Yeah, Dreamer was saying that Vincent, aka Virgil, thought he was showing up to AEW.
Yeah,
he had no idea what the fuck the booking was. He had no clue.
He also thought that Mike Knox was me the entire time he was here until I actually showed up.
Yeah, Vincent's a whole other story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
It's hard to transition to this, but let's real quickly talk about Impact. For Karl and Doc, can you talk about the impact that you guys are having, two veterans going into a younger locker room? How have you been perceived, and what advice you've been giving some of the younger talent who's really, this is their first break being on national television?
It's been fun. I've got a singles match next week with or on Impact Tuesday night with Josh Alexander of the North. And like I've said this a lot too, like when we left the WWE, I got a big chip on my shoulder, man, because I had a lot of big main events before I went to the WWE with New Japan Pro Wrestling and all around the world in front of thousands of people. And like, so I want to show people that if you put me in there with somebody, like I can go with anybody. And I mean, that's just something that I have confidence in myself about. And like, so getting that singles match with Josh next week, like I think I show that. I show people I can still go like that. And being around these young kids, man, it's been pretty cool. And like Ethan Page, man, this guy's a charismatic. He's a charismatic dude, man. And Josh Alexander can wrestle, and he's charismatic too in his own way. And like and these two guys have proven a lot to us. And at Turning Point, where that we came here to win championships. We want to win the tag team championships, and then ultimately we want to be singles champions too, because we both have chips on our shoulders, and we want to show people that of course we like to have fun, but like when it comes down to getting in the ring and being a professional wrestler, I feel like I can hang with anybody, and we can hang with anybody tag team wise, and that's what we came here to do.
Couldn't have said it better.
One thing I want to ask, since you brought up New Japan, and it's true, you were a competitor over there. You were a young lion. You've wrestled in the G1. You were in the finals. Do you see yourself going back? Both of you, Rocky, you need to help these guys get back there, if anything, right?
Well, I think it's not a time of if, it's a matter of when. It's
When.
the world opening back up all the way, and I think that you're seeing a lot of great stuff. Like December 12th, Rock can talk about it, but Chris Bay going and representing Impact Wrestling is a huge deal to see that. And I think that the three of us are kind of a pivotal part of making that relationship work out. And we're dying to get back to Japan, man. We can't wait. I think it's a shame that things are the way they are and we're not already there too.
I mean, the deal has been agreed upon. It is
Yeah.
just waiting. It's just waiting for the right time.
Yeah. Just try to write our names on it. Rock needs to start paying us. So if you guys want to motivate him on that, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll start taking prepay. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll take prepay, Rock. That's no problem.
I'd have to talk to some people about that, I guess.
Yeah. Run that up your poll for me, will you?
Yeah.
The guys. Talkin Shop Mania. We're going to go home right now. Talkin Shop Mania, November 13th. Impact Turning Point the 14th. Rocky Romero, Doc, Karl, thanks so much for giving us some time today. Really appreciate everything. I hope you guys had fun as fun as we had. This was great, and thank you so much. And good luck in the future.
Hey guys, thanks so much for
Appreciate
having
you
us.
guys.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you so much. Yeah.
We appreciate y'all.
Have a
Thanks
good
lot
one,
for the
guys.
time,
Thank
man.
you.
Thanks for following our shit.
Yeah, we love that. Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it.
All right. I'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon.
Talk
Thanks.
to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.